compositions, several. But this one, this was the masterpiece. Really, this was his masterpiece. In contrast to Sweet Caroline, which I told you took him under an hour to write. Not this one. No, this one took him months and months to complete. I mean, he really had to dig deep in here and pull out all kinds of personal and emotional feelings and put them onto paper, you know, his own personal feelings, which he was known for doing throughout the years. Now, like I said, this song for me also very personal for many different reasons, but I'm gonna probably say maybe the most significant reason as to why I was able to relate to this song just happened to be that by coincidence, and I want to make it just so you understand, you know, make it clear that it's only by coincidence, but it's true. For real, I was born in the same little town that Neil Diamond was born in. Yeah. And and there's a chance you might have heard of this little town. It's on the East Coast. Yeah, it's off the East River. Actually, geographically, we want to talk geographically speaking, it's part of an island. Go figure, right? Part of an island. I'm going to give you one more little hint for those of you who haven't picked up on it. Little hint, right? It's got this really big bridge connected to it, like big, huge, big bridge, famous bridge. Yeah, you may have heard of this little town. Happens to be called Brooklyn. Yeah. So, no, for real, I'm not making up. I was born in Brooklyn. Both my parents, Brooklyn. Born and raised in Brooklyn. Neil Diamond, of course, one of the most famous Brooklynites ever. I was born in Brooklyn. I was raised next door in Queens. That's the same island, just in case you needed to know that. And most of my life, though, I'm going to come clean. Most of my life, I've lived here, right here in Vegas. But my whole childhood was in New York City. Great childhood. I mean, when you grew up in that city, you don't ever forget those memories. And if we're talking on the subject of memories, one of those memories pertaining to this song was that I would remember on occasion driving around the city with Mom and Dad, and I'd be in the back seat, and Dad'd be driving. You're gonna love this one. Dad would pop in, ready? That's right. Dad would pop in the 8-track. Yeah, he got it, right? Remember that bulky, ugly thing? That 8-track and tape, it was tape. You know, and it was around for a few years. I guess it served its purpose. For all intents and purposes, this is my own. Again, I told you earlier we don't do opinions, but I'm about to do one. For all intents and purposes, ladies and gentlemen, the 8-track was the worst invention in musical history. Right? It was god-awful. But let me tell you why it was god-awful. And you'll agree with me on this once I explain why it was god-awful. Remember, if we had on any 8-track, we had a favorite song on the 8-track, we couldn't rewind it, right? You could not rewind an 8-track. That function was not there. It wasn't there. You had a favorite song, you could not go, look, on an album, you know, vinyl, you had a favorite song, that's right. You lift up your needle, then arm, and you work your way back to your favorite song. And you may not hit the nail on the head the first time, but you'd get there. You'd get to your favorite song. You could not do that with an 8-track. You just had to wait it out. You had to wait for it to roll into the next track or start all over again. You had to have a lot of patience, and understand I was a kid. We're not known for having patience, you know. Now, let me just say one thing, because I'm bashing the heck out of the 8-track. I was enamored, infatuated with that particular 8-track, so I didn't mind waiting. I'm pretty sure Dad had to buy 2 or 3 of those 8-tracks because I wore it out. It was the original 1972 Hot August Night album, recorded at the Greek Theater in LA. To this day, ladies and gentlemen, Rolling Stone calls that one of the greatest live albums in history. And it was. And as iconic as the album was, those of you who remember the album, you would remember the cover, because that's a famous cover. Because the guy on the cover of the original, by the way, he did 4, but that original Hot August Night album, that guy did not look like our signature Neil Diamond. No, that guy had some really serious hair. I mean, when I say serious hair, I mean like big hair and long hair too. Yeah, that guy looked like he was some kind of rock god poet from another planet, which he was at that time. And his presentation, very theatrical, very serious, dramatic. I mean, he barely ever smiled. And during those days, that's the way he presented himself, like a poet. And he lightened up years later, but again, that is how he presented himself at the time. So towards the end of the album, I want to say 3/4 into it, that guy with all that hair and in all his glory is about to sing the song. And he looks up into the lights, kind of like I'm doing. He squints his eyes, which he did a lot. And he's about to sing the song. And he says something before singing the song that really got to me. I mean, if any one line, phrase, or sentence would make me a lifetime Diamond head, I remember that man saying this before he sings the song. This is what he says. I need, I want, I care, I weep, I ache. I am, I said I am. It is fine, the sun shines most of the time, and the feeling is laid back. Palm trees grow, and rents are low, but you know, I've been thinking about making my way back. Well, I'm New York City born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home, and New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. I am myself, no one there. No one heard, not even the chair. I am my cry, I am, said I am lost and I can't even say why. Leaving me lonely still. Did you ever read about a frog who dreamed of being a king? But who became one? Except for the names and a few of the changes. If you talk about me, the story's the same one. But I've got an emptiness deep inside and I try, but it won't let me go. And I'm a man who likes to swear, but I never cared for the sound of being alone. I am myself, till no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. get lost and I can't even say why. Leaving me lonely still. LA's fine, the sun shines most of the time. Oh, did you ever read about a frog who dreamed of being a king? Oh no. No, no, no. No. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll never get tired of singing that song ever. It really does have a special meaning to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. We are winding down.